Hello everyone. Today I am going to show you how to create a simple ball bounce inside of Procreate. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on the plus sign and we're going to choose paper. All right. Then we're going to choose the little tool that's next to the word gallery and go to canvas. Then we're going to turn on animation assist and that's going to pull up our timeline down here. All right. When we're looking at the timeline, we see the play button. We see our first frame, and we see settings and add frame. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to go to settings and go to the bottom where it says onion skin colors. At the top, if you've never used this feature before, these two squares are going to be black. Take this one, click on it, and then make it red. And this one, you're going to make it green. All right, red and green in this order. All right. And then just click off the screen and it'll disappear. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up our background. All right. So we're going to draw a line. So I'm going to change my brush size. So all we're doing is we're drawing the ground. Now, if you remember from previous videos, if you hold the pen or your finger or whatever you're drawing with to the paper, it will straighten out or try to perfect the shape that you're doing. All right. And then we are going to draw our guideline. So we're going to go, that was a terrible line. 1, 2, 3. See, I held on so it tried to fix it, but I'm just going to hit the backspace and it'll take it back. So the ball is going to start here. It's going to go down, bounce back up, one more time, and then it's going to rest right here. So we're going to click on this frame, and you'll see that it's come up with several options. We're going to turn on background. And what that's going to do is every frame that we add, this will automatically be in the background. So I'm going to come up here, instead of using the add frame button that's down here, I'm going to come up where our layers are, and I'm just going to click the plus sign to add a new layer. So on this new layer, I am going to draw a circle. Now, when we bounce a ball, the ball doesn't change size. And the same is true here. So what we're going to do is we are going to duplicate. Then we're going to use the arrow tool to move the circle where we need it. Now, what I'm doing is I am putting in the key frames. These are the most important frames in the animation. This is where our story is. All right. Now, I'm missing some keyframes because we only have the circle at the top of the arch. There's supposed to be another circle where the ball hits the ground. So I'm going to come back to this first circle. And you'll notice, it's really hard to see on the screen at the moment because of the lighting. But the other circles, there is a faint outline here. It is a green circle. That means that these are our future frames. And as we move forward, the frames behind it will be red, which hopefully you'll be able to see. So I'm going to duplicate, and I'm going to move this guy down right here. But I'm not going to leave it as a full circle. I'm going to come over here to distort. All right, so we're still on the arrow tool, and we click on distort. So now we can squash this circle. Make it a pancake. Now I'm going to duplicate this pancake 2 times. All right, but it's still in the same place. So I'm going to move them where they go. So I have moved all these circles to the correct place on our timeline, but they're not in the right place here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the beginning, and we want the black circle to go in order. And you'll see it jumps, it skips one. So we need to take this circle and move it down. Same thing happens here. So we click and hold, and then we should be able to move it like that. So now all of our circles line up. All of our keyframes are there. We can hit play, and it's very choppy, but we do have an animation. So now we're going to smooth out that animation. We're going to come back to our first circle. We're going to duplicate it 2 times. All right, so this is our first circle. Our second circle, we're going to move just a little bit this way. And then our third circle, we're going to move again. We're going to do one more right here. Then we're going to go back to our other circle. So we're going to come to this circle. We're going to duplicate it twice. We'll come back to this first one, and we're going to move it, make sure we're not on distort, or that we're moving outside of the area for it to select the circles. We're going to move this one back a little. We're going to move this one forward a little. Notice that all of our red circles are behind it. So you can kind of see the circles there. We are creating our arches. We're going to come over to our next arch, and we're going to duplicate it just like we did last time with 2. And so all we're doing is moving that circle a little bit. And if we were to hit play now, it's looking more smooth. But we could do better. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add in our stretch. So we have our squash from where it landed on the ground. All right, now we're going to add in our stretch. So we're going to come to this circle right here, and we're going to duplicate it. We're going to move it down, and in distort, we're going to bring it up and in like this. And we are going to duplicate that shape. So we're going to go to the left and duplicate, and we're going to move it over this way. We're going to do it one more time and move it this way. Now, it's not going to be in order again, so we need to figure out where these need to go. So it goes right before the squash. So all I'm doing is moving these to where they're right before the squash in the timeline. Like this. And if we were to hit play, it's an even smoother bounce. We're going to do one more set of stretches. So we can duplicate, and then that was the wrong one to duplicate. Mistakes happen. That's what erase is for. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this to this side of the squash, and we are going to use the rotate tool to turn our squash just a little bit this way, like it's coming out of the squash. And we're going to duplicate that and move it over to this one. We don't need to do it here for the circle because the circle is going to go back to its natural shape there. If we were having it bounce off screen, that would be different. Trying to figure out where to put this. I'm sorry. Give me just a second. This is the one that needs to move. Why do I feel like I have something wrong here? Because I'm pretty certain I do. I do. This one doesn't go there. This one goes down here. This one goes over here. I was looking at the wrong set of circles. So when that happens, the best thing to do is make sure you can see the full screen. And then go one circle at a time, one frame. And make sure that it is in the right place. And there we go. We can hit play. You have a nice little ball bounce. And if you want to, you can go in and you can erase this guideline. Because it's not needed anymore. Just don't erase your ground. And there we go. This is our first animation of a ball bouncing. I can't wait to see your awesome work.